Do 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 do. Wah wah do 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 do. Ba-da-da. I don't even know what song that is. I'm trying to think of the rest of it as I was humming the beginning, and I can't remember. That's not a surprise. All right, it's Free for All Friday, and Andrew's here, and Leslie, and Haroon, and Big Green, and Wolverine, and Blue Blade was in here earlier. Merritt, Crack Gaming, Kaiser, Leslie's in. Well, got notified, huh, Leslie? Susan apologizes. She never means to notify people. Sometimes it's just, there's accidents. Hey, Code. Solara says, hey, Curtis, finally here. And for the first time ever, I'm not like 20 to 50 minutes late. How's everyone feeling? This does seem to be helping out a little bit. The scheduling the stream, like an hour and a half to 3 hours ahead seems to help with getting some notifications out there. Andrew says, should have said get in here, but first. Breach. We're a bunch of breach deliveries. Brian says, Susan actually cared about my butt. It's here. Maybe that's what Susan spends all her time caring about is butts. And that's why we can't get her to concentrate on anything else like notifications. Rosa got notified too. Like she says, something is wrong here. Wow. Look at Susan just spreading the wealth. I was trying to think if there was a way how I could set it up. You guys know I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. And the Irish play Toledo tomorrow at 2:30. I was trying to think of a way I could set up a monitor or a TV here. And I could, I see what my grandson's doing if he wanted to come over and team with me and broadcast the game. Susan likes butts confirmed. Yeah, Evan says. I see. The only thing is, I'd have to set up the TV to where we could have headsets because obviously I can't put their audio out on a stream. We would get shut down in a hurry. But you guys could have the game on if you wanted, and rather than listening to the boring, mundane announcers who are trying to call it fairly, you could hear the entirely homered version of a football game call. I don't know. I thought that might be fun. Oh, let's see. Louis says, what is the last thing you expect when you send her a pee-pee pic? She sends one back. Oh, well, it sounds like a match made of urinating heaven. Made in urinating heaven, or of urinating heaven, I guess. Stormstar says, Susan is clearly trying to seduce us, only to screw us later, and not in a good way. Yeah, that kind of screwing that just hurts. That could be either. Oh, Milag says, don't need notifications. I keep the timer open on my second screen on its own page. That's a pretty cool idea. Like I say, if nothing else, Milag, that does seem to give everybody more options when we do it this way, where I put a announcement up for the stream earlier. How are we doing? Hey, you guys who are Gooshers, how I had some work to do. I haven't checked it recently. How is the nomination start going? We're going to be picking a new series over at the Goosh, our Patreon, and the nomination thread went up. I just want to see who's doing well in the nominations. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back to the chat. There's already 136 comments. These are always heavily hit. Oh, come on, keep load. Now, why does it stop? It's going to take me a minute because Patreon's screwing up again. Hold on, I'll get back to that. I just want to see who is leading. Brian says, not sure how much NFL you follow. Quite a bit. ESPN is in talks to get Sunday Ticket from DirecTV. God, I hope that happens. Wow, I hadn't even heard about that. Yeah, you know what I've always hated about this NFL Ticket, Brian, is why do they not sell individual games? They would make so much more money. They don't get any of my money. Because I'm mainly a college football fan, but I enjoy the NFL. I'm a Cowboys fan. I usually, being in upstate New York, I usually see probably 9, 10 of their games a year are covered where I can see it. And the others, if I don't see them, I don't care. Now, I'm not going to pay DirecTV that, what is it, $300 a year or whatever to get every NFL game. But if you were saying give us $20 for any individual game you want, they would get some of my money. I don't see how they think they come out ahead doing it that way. Big Green says that's handy too, but ever since you scheduled them, I'm getting notifications again anyway. So that's cool. Huh. We'll, we'll, we'll take it any way we can get it. All right, let me try this again, see if I can see. I want to see who's leading in the nominations here. Who's getting a lot of support in the nominations anyway. Are you going to load all of them for me this time or no? 136 nominations so far. Well, there's some responses, so probably 120 of them are nominations. Okay, Kaguya-sama Love is War. It's got 22 thumbs up. Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun has 11. Mushoku Tensei. Wow, these are a lot of names I hadn't made a big splash in nominations before. Inuyasha has got 9. Inuyasha always does well. Ranma 1/2 has 9. Tanya the Evil. Tanya always gets mentioned. And I think Tanya's going to make it at some point. Fairy Tail's got 14. Black Lagoon's got 8. I think Black Lagoon really needs to be in the poll just because every time it gets a good number of nominations, of support in the nominations. Black Clover, it's got 10. That always gets nominated. Oh, Chrome's got one here. So I'm a spider, so what? I don't know that one. I like the title though. So those seem to be the leaders right at the moment. But the nominations thread just went up. This person doesn't have a screen name, but the Misfit of Demon King Academy. Never heard of that one either, and that's getting some good support. Cool. This is going to be fun. I'm anxious to see who's going to win this. Alrighty. Wolverine says, Lola Nola Zolo is my favorite One Piece character. That's close to Roronoa. Zoro. Lola Nola. Yeah, he laughs a lot. Yeah, Lude. Johnny says, being stationed in Colorado hurts because I can't watch all the Bills games like I could when I lived in Cooperstown. DirecTV should let us subscribe by team. Yeah, I just don't think, Johnny, I just thought that's a crappy business model. And not just because it doesn't work as well for me. I mean, trying to think of it from their perspective, I don't understand how you wouldn't make more money if you offered a season pass and an a la carte where you could buy individual games. Because there's a lot of people who are going to buy the season pass anyway. You know, there's a lot of NFL fanatics who are going to want access to every game. But I love Cooperstown, Johnny. We got up there a couple times this year. Last time we went over the summer, my wife, daughter, granddaughter, her friend, they went on that up in Cooperstown. Well, they have them in several places around the state. But up in Cooperstown, they have this set up on the railroad tracks up there where you can get in and you pedal a railroad car and take a journey out into the woods and the hills, and it was pretty cool. They went up there and did that. The Cooperstown one is the longest one. They were tired when they were done. Big Green says, wait, is that how they spelt his first name in 4Kids dub? It wouldn't surprise me. I just know that he was called Zolo instead of Zoro. Well, 4Kids just has there ever been a group, organization, whatever you want to call it, with less of a reason to exist than 4Kids? PZ Infinite says, guess I loved your reaction to Hello Boss. I asked for it again. Hello Boss is so good. It's so much fun. Yeah, he was called Zorro. Apparently, copyright issues with the Zorro movie. Oh, I hadn't thought about that, Lude. Yeah, the Legend of Zorro there. Hmm. I thought I was thinking. Well, I shouldn't say that because I don't know exactly when it was. But I would have thought that the original Zorro, Mark of the Z, zoom, zoom, zoom. I would have thought that was so old that any copyright protection would have expired. But maybe not. Maybe it's not as old as I'm thinking. Rosa says, want to hear a joke, Curtis? Notre Dame winning. Rosa, want to hear another joke, Curtis? Houston Dynamo winning. We're bottom of the table now. Nah, I think my Irish will be fine this year, Rosa. They had a closer call than I would have liked at Florida State, but I do think Florida State is significantly better than a lot of people thought they were. But I think they'll do okay. You guys know how much I love Notre Dame and how much I hate USC, and that's the game I'm most concerned about this year. USC it's got a lot of studs. There's a lot of talent on that team, but other than that, there's not a game on their schedule there isn't a game on their schedule that isn't winnable. I think they'll be, except for maybe Cincinnati, they'll be favored, I think, in every game. Barry says, Rosa, that's slander and blasphemy. Johnny says, I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame an uncountable amount of times. It's hallowed ground for baseball freaks like us. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the Hall of Fame, and I just love the little village of Cooperstown. Anybody that, if you get up this way to upstate New York and looking for something to do, I couldn't encourage you more. It's a quaint little town. Got a lot of cool little shops on the main street. Well, most of them obviously sports related. But the lake is there, and there's a lot of things to do out on the lake. It's just a really fun stop. Lachlan says, they did make quite a few Zorro movies, and if I'm right, then the copyright refreshes when a movie is made. Oh, that could be, Lachlan. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. That would put a restart on the copyright, huh? Yeah, and they used to make a ton of them. Zorro used to be like the Fantastic Four in that or Godzilla, where they make a new movie of him every few years. That's true. Rick says Curtis Julie is the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He could be the new mascot. I ring the bells at Notre Dame. That is what he said, right? Not a big literary guy. Robbie Williams says, I see you collect DBZ pops too. Nice collection. I have plenty. I haven't gotten more in a while. I haven't gotten any in a while either, Robbie. I've gotten too addicted to getting the t-shirts whenever I have a few extra bucks to spend. But actually, there's not a lot. I've got most of the pops that of the series I was really into that they've covered so far. I do, as I've said before, I would like to, and I still don't know how I'm going to set it up logistically, but I want to change this room around to where I wouldn't have so much depth behind me, and I could put just a few select pops that rotate. Not the pops rotate. I mean, I would change the pops every few days behind me. Antonio Banderas was all the rage back in the day. Yeah, he was, Lachlan. True. He was huge. Lude says, speaking of nominations, have you decided on the order of the series will be continuing on the $1 level? Yeah, I'll be posting something about that at the Goosh very soon. I'm gonna let some of the nominations get rolling, and then I'll post to you guys what the plan is there. M says, you're all a bunch of leeches. I thought I raised you better than this. Oh, wait. No, wait. Johnny says, if anyone is ever in Cooperstown, visit Sal's Pizzeria. It's orgasmic. Is that the one on Main Street, Johnny? If you're walking up from Doubleday Field towards the Hall of Fame, it'd be on the other side of the street, the far side of the street, right on Main. If that's the one, yes, I agree with you. That every single time I go to Cooperstown, I stop in for pizza there. I freaking love their pizza. Rosa says, cold is the wind that chills me down to my bones, and cold is the knowledge that for this I abandoned my home. Cold is my sorrow like a knife in my chest, and cold is the path that I walk. Yikes. That was some heavy duty stuff right there. Yeah, cops are coming. It's always a siren. I don't know what it is, Lou, because the trains weren't enough. Now, just in this dopey little village I live in, it's amazing how often there's sirens going on and all kinds of horse shit around here. Willie says, I nominated Psychopass. I have little faith with him. I keep trying. I don't know, Willie. I can never tell for sure, but Psychopass used to get mentioned even before it got sponsored at the Goose. It was talked about all the time. I would think, and again, I could be wrong. I would think there'd be enough support for it to at least get it into the poll. It'll be interesting to see. Rainy Friday says, hey, always curious, how does tax reporting work in terms of YouTube revenue? Do you self-report or does YouTube do all the work behind the scenes? Oh, no, it's all we're just independent contractors. All you get from YouTube is you'll get your statement from Google at the end of the year. I forgot which form it is, a 1099 something, but stating what they paid you in ad revenue or super chats, whatever, but the total of what they paid you for the year, and then it's all up to you. Yeah, you're entirely an independent contractor. Taxes are all left for you. They just give you the information, the total that you have to claim. Lachlan says, I would love Psychopass. Need to give that a vote. Yeah, it's been good. Those few episodes I've seen have been really, really good. And Daihaj says, Psychopass is one of those animes that I'm surprised hasn't made it yet. I think it's just a matter of time. I would agree. And again, that goes back to, for the entirety of time that we've been watching anime together, before it got sponsored, Psychopass was mentioned all the time. It was a name that's been familiar to me since back since I was doing Naruto. You guys had mentioned it. Masag, the good old taxes, yeah, real fun stuff. Yeah, it's same with Patreon. Patreon just sends you a form at the end of the year, just telling you exactly what they paid you, and then the rest is all up to you. And of course, we had, what was it, a couple of years ago, where all the e-thoughts on, or not all of them, but a bunch of them on Patreon thought they didn't have to pay taxes on the money they got through Patreon. I wonder how many of them are in prison now. Trevor says, wait, we have a Patreon? I know. I've got to figure out. And anyway, hey, listen, I'm always open to ideas. And I haven't seen Coltonius in here yet. Maximus is working on some stuff over at the Discord. But I want to, that's my goal. I want to try and be the number one anime video site on Patreon, which means we'd have to overtake Blindwave. So I'm going to have to figure out a good way to get our word out there, to do some advertising. And I'd be willing to invest some money into the advertising. I just can't think of what would be a good spot for that. Any of you guys got an idea? What would be a good place to go, and just, because obviously everything is centered around anime, is just getting to anime folks. Wolverine says, speaking of Pops, where's Papa Bonner? Bonner or Boner? Well, that would be Bonner, right? I don't know who you mean, Wolverine. I don't know what you mean. Yeah. You guys should totally join that Patreon, by the way, with that link. Big Green, yes, that link. Thank you, guys. Oh, what is this? Lex, what did you post? I gotta see it now. Yeah, I figured it was something like that, Lex. Attack on Titan season 40. Yeah, we're done with that, Persona. AOT is just so good. Rainy Friday says, I love you, man, but would you be willing to compromise your style to appeal to a wider audience? Probably not. I don't know what you mean by compromise style, though. since we've had the YouTube channel, or anything I've ever done in entertainment, I've always told people the one thing I can absolutely 100% guarantee you is that I'm being genuine with you and real. So by compromise your style, if you mean purport myself in a different way or something, no. No, I don't know what you mean by that type of that terminology. Masag says, after following Afghanistan, watching old YouTube videos of soldiers in Afghanistan hits hard, even though I'm not American. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When you think back to how many were lost and everything for something that eventually was just kind of cast aside. Yeah, as I mean, Lud, it would have been, again, I don't know what you mean. If you're talking, it depends what type of changes you're talking about. Changing my background? Possibly. Changing who I am or how I act? No. I never compromise persona. Like I say, that's been it's been something I've always guaranteed to you guys, is that unless I'm doing something where I'm obviously playing a character, outside of that, everything you see is just genuinely me. The way I interact with you guys here, talk with you guys here is exactly the same as I am in everyday life. This is just it. I mean, I may be an asshole a great deal of the time, but at least I'm a real asshole. I'm not being one for the cameras. Hey, Jetflyer. Just joined. He says, what did I miss? Just typical free-for-all Friday hullabaloo. I just wanted to work the word hullabaloo in today. Lud says the only thing you're allowed to compromise is my virginity. Oh, my. Yeah, we did the devil one time, Azaria. I should try and bring that back. I always thought that would be a fun thing. Nobody seemed to really be into it that much. But what I mean is, and rarely, the only time, again, I'm not being 100% me are times when I'm obviously not being me, when we're trying to play a character or something like that. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I took it on my nose. Thanks, Big Green. Gimster says, come on over to the Goosh, where we openly say 4 kids did nothing wrong, along with Harlong, Shao Tucker, Donzo, and mine are all just misunderstood. I said it the other day when we were talking about that. It amazes me how much I fucking hate mine. She's such and to be that hot, and for me to just can't stand her as much as I do. For any of you who don't know, she's from Rising of the Shield Hero. That is such a good series. Really good show. I have gotten addicted to talking about the shows we watch over there. I have gotten addicted to the her name is Coco, She Is Loco song from Jormungand. Oh, Daniel Thunberg sponsors that one for us at the Goosh. I just every day when I work out, that's the cornerstone of my music that I play now. I love that song. Willie says someone wants Curtis to be wider. Yeah, good point, Willie. I can't imagine that would be healthy. Rosa says, but I carry those memories close to my heart and remember them fondly when I gaze at the sun, the moon, the stars. So we'll find our dreams fade in time. Oh, in time our dreams leave us blind. That's pretty deep lyrics. Let's try reverse psychology. Don't click this link. It does not contain attractive naked women. Especially when they go there and see the thumbnail picture at the Goosh. That is definitely not attractive. And definitely not a chick. The one and only JB says, do you think Pelosi has an OnlyFans? Well, from what I understood, she did. And then when they went through that phase where they decided they weren't going to allow any more hardcore stuff, I guess she closed hers. Oh, jeez. Could you even imagine that? Pelosi hardcore. That made me feel like the world is not a centered place. Masag says, to be honest, if I were a ginger, I would go full racist, become an ass to everyone. I wonder why gingers are not like that. I'm a ginger. I'm kind of a dick. Mr. Mr. Croissant says, Curtis, if you want a larger anime channel, just play the role of a Nigerian prince, or just strip in public with only a flag saying the goosh on it. You could also start an OnlyFans. Well, like, again, it's twofold. Obviously, I'd like the goosh to do well, most because what really got me started pushing it in the first place was, A, we can do anime material content there, but it's less reliance on YouTube. I want to push more stuff over there as much as I can. But then it's just the competitive side of me that wants, I mean, if you're going to do something like that, and it's from all the years of sports and stuff, I want to get to the top of it. Now, granted, I didn't realize at first that getting to the top would be that much of a climb, because like I told you guys yesterday, I thought Blind Wave had like 8,000 or 9,000 patrons. They got 13. I was like, ooh, they're more than I thought. Noah says, anyone thinking about joining the Goosh, I highly recommend it. Why, thanks. I appreciate that, pal. I discovered Curtis by accident and started with his reaction DBZ. Seeing how someone who originally wasn't into anime grow. Yeah, because, well, the whole DBZA thing, I mean, you guys talked me into that. And as I've said, I can't even give you guys a good reason why I had never dabbled around with anime before, considering I've been a cartoon fan my whole life. You would think it would just be a natural extension, at least out of curiosity. So when you guys convinced me that, no, you can watch, you could watch the abridged without having knowledge of the original series, and I tried it, that got me to where I am today. Dum, dum, dum. Willie says, did someone say Nigerians? Yeah, it's going to take a bit of time, Big Green. Well, that's what I mean. I started looking into it. I've had, just because we just got back, so I've had really busy days catching up on things. I've just got to look. I got to see some places that I can advertise and try and get the word around. That's all. But there's not a lot of advertising avenues to try and reach out specifically to anime fans. Persona says, my first Spaz Boys comedy video was when you reacted to Brandon Rogers' anti-fee parody. Oh, I don't believe I have. I don't. I've never seen anybody with as high a quality list of characters as Brandon Rogers has. I mean, that guy is just so insanely talented. God damn. Sailor Moon fan says, I'm an asshole when it comes to politics, mostly because political mask mandates and the fucking ivermectin shit. No joke, today I saw a grown-ass woman laugh at someone's grandmother dying of COVID. What the fuck? People have become unbelievable. They really have. I mean, with the vitriol over politics and now masks and fuck off, Chain. See, and just like in politics, I find myself leaning neither way, because you guys know I'm vaccinated. I'm pro-vaccination. I wanted it right from the get-go, but I'm not for mandates, because I think they're overreach, and because I also keep track of what's going on with the virus, and I don't think the mandates that Biden is laying out is going to make much of a difference into the total curvature of this virus. Lex says, I was in the Patreon for like 2 months so I could watch the interspecies reviewers. Oh, those were fun. Reactions. Then I left because money, and now I'm rejoining thanks to peer pressure. Lex, you're funny. I like how there was a specific reason and cause for each movement you made in regards to the goose. I like that. Yeah, Lou, that's it in a nutshell. People are fucked. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. And you guys know I can't talk too much about, even though I think you guys will back me up here, any conversation we have about the virus, any conversation we have about anything here is always based in fact. if we get comments that are just outlandish conspiracy theories or something like that, they're doused, put away, sent aside. But old Susan, she gets really nervous if you say anything that might not toe her line or way of thinking, because even when you're talking about specific facts, within those facts, there's room for opinion on how those facts affect everything. And YouTube likes to big brother you and make sure that you're staying in line with what they believe. Kaiser says, finally, after over 2 decades, Getter Arc Episode 10 finally animated Getter Emperor, an ever-growing getter that is larger than planets and eventually a galaxy. Inspired Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Wow. See, the little bit I've seen of that style of anime has been really good, really interesting, and the fights have been fantastic. The fights in mecha anime have been really good, at least what I've seen so far. George says, what's your opinion on these gimmicky boxing matches between old heads like Tyson, Holyfield, Roy Jones, and YouTubers like KSI and the Pauls? It's kind of mixed, George. In the respect that, as far as boxing goes, if there's an interest, for whatever reason, if people have an interest in seeing two people fight, I say go ahead, let them make the money and let them fight. I like watching people fight. They don't have to be particularly skilled. Now, do I think that these gimmick fights are the pinnacle of boxing expertise, or do they keep my attention because of the skill levels? No. Just I've watched them, but I watch them just because I want to see certain people get beat up. So I guess in a nutshell, I don't have a problem with them. You just have to look at them for what they are and not, if you're looking at them because you want to see two very skilled fighters battle it out to see whose skills are superior, nah. If you just want to see a couple guys knocking the shit out of each other, then it's cool. Kind of like the Tough Man contest I used to enter. You're just in there trying to wail on each other. Not a lot of skill involved. Gimster says, currently with our numbers at the Goosh versus Blind Wave, it's like Hippo going up against Mike Tyson. You're not wrong. This is going to be one hell of a Rocky movie training montage. Yeah, what? Yeah, how do we do that, Gimster? Is me running around going out and like beating garbage with sledgehammers the appropriate montage for us trying to take on Blind Wave? I could get a sledgehammer and take out 4Kids discs or something. Yeah, Big Green says, just for having this discussion, the stream connection might mysteriously go to shit. Yeah, that wouldn't be the first time, would it, pal? Jesus. Chrome says, hi, just got back. I've got battered sausage and chips and mushy peas. What did I miss? Oh, a sausage sandwich sounds good, Chrome. And I mean a real sausage sandwich, not the kind from Pornhub. Well, that one sounds okay too, but yeah, sausage sandwich. Oh, what I really want. We have it's not too far from us. It's in Schenectady, New York. There's a steak sandwich place there that's been there well over 50 years because my father used to take me there when I was a little kid. It's called Moret's Steakhouse. I really want a Moret's. I don't know. My wife had to pop into work for a couple hours today. I'm trying to think what I have to do later. That might not be a bad idea to run down to old Moret's. And you guys, not only are the steak sandwiches good, they have French fries with this beef gravy that makes a fat old man like me. It's like I don't even give a fuck if I die. My heart stops while I'm eating them. I went out happy doing what I needed to do. Jetfire says mandating the vaccine isn't going to make people have more trust in it. It's counterproductive. Nice job, Biden. Yeah, and this is what I look at too, and hopefully this doesn't get me another strike on the channel because I'm dealing in facts, whether sometimes people like the facts or not. We know a few things now. We know that or Israel has come out and said with reliable numbers that the antibodies you get from having had COVID are 13 times more effective than the ones that you get from the vaccination. We also know that once you've been vaccinated, the odds of getting seriously ill with COVID are very, very low. Now, the reason I bring this up as a reason to not put these mandates in is even where I sit now. I look at it, I've been vaccinated. I'm not worried about getting COVID. I know the odds are astronomical if I get it, that it's not going to be serious. And if I get it, I'm going to have, because it does work just this way, I'll have double the immunity. Well, more than double by actual numbers, but I'll be covered in two different ways. I'll have the natural immunity gained from having had it, along with having had the vaccine. So when it's a given that everybody can get the vaccine if they want, I don't see the mandate, because people, yes, the Delta variant spreads easily. It's very highly transmissible. Right. So eventually you're going to get to a tipping point where the vast majority of people have either had the vaccine or the virus. And just by the numbers, this isn't my opinion, just by the numbers, that would tell you that's when you'll see things dropping off, and probably COVID will become endemic. And when it becomes endemic, hopefully it won't be any worse than like the flu or something, is what you hope for. You know, we've built up enough immunities to it that when it comes around, it'll be an inconvenience and we'll move on. That's what you hope for. Now let's see if I get another strike on the channel. Cheap Jump Scare says, so happy watching Ready or Not tonight with friends. Ready or Not? What is that? I'm not sure what that one is, pal. Jump Scare. Ready or Not? Lick says, Curtis, don't be so ungrateful. There are starving whores out there who would kill for that 92 cents. Oh, Lick, this one, Free For All Fridays, most of our streams now I don't even monetize because it just brings less attention to us. So I don't even give my 92 cents for this one. Like gaming streams, I will monetize, and some here or there depending on topic. But Free For All Fridays, I know where Free For All Fridays is going to go as far as conversation, so I don't even monetize them. Socialists Are Coming says, last week the U.S. was at either 80 or 84% estimated immunity to COVID. 90% is approximately herd immunity point, according to CDC, last I heard. Yeah, that's why, I mean, I don't know if you guys agree or not, but that's why I don't see the point of the mandates. What it does make me, because I don't trust government, you know what it kind of seems like? It seems like that, because I can see this, and a lot of people can see it coming, that this is the way that coronaviruses work anyway. We're going to start on a decline in cases again, you would imagine, just following the pattern. So I'm thinking that maybe the Biden administration wants to get ahead of that and make these big mandates, so when that natural downfall starts, he can say, look, it was me, I did it. I put those mandates in, and then look, in the following couple months, everything went down. Well, it was going to anyway. I'm starting to wonder if that's not the case. I say trained by pounding lots of meat, Timothy says. And no matter which way you take pounding lots of meat, effective training. Oh, Ready or Not is a 2019 horror comedy. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I haven't watched a good horror anything in a while. Oh, Dragon. Why do orphans play GTA? So they can feel wanted. Mr. Croissant says, Curtis, would you consider doing Try Not to Laugh challenges more? There's a series on YouTube called Only in New York, and it's super funny. I don't know. There's going to definitely be more Try Not to Laugh, just because I like doing them. I don't have a specific set schedule for them or design for them, though. Let's see. Quack says, it isn't fair that military people don't pay taxes. What do you mean, Quack, that military people don't pay taxes? I'm not sure what you're saying here. Military folks pay income taxes. Lick says, Oh, I'd have thought it was work experience. I didn't catch that. Cheap Jump Scare says, "Oh, tell me about the show. It's about a movie where a newlywed has to play a deadly game of hide and seek with Scream Queen Samara Weaving. Really funny and enjoyable time. I've really enjoyed a lot of the movies, forms of entertainment that combine horror and comedy. The one that sticks out, American Werewolf in London was one of the first ones like that for me. I do generally enjoy that type of genre. And again, titles, you guys know how nouns are for the damaged memory here. It'll come to me. Zombieland, another one, was really funny in a horror vein. Gabe says, "What does my dad and Nemo have in common? They both can't be found." They're so depressing. Rosa says, second last part of the poem. By moonlight and starlight, those shadows led me astray. Take comfort in darkness, hide me away from the light. Hide with me from the light, my child. I'll show you another way. Oh, Samuel says, anime talk, okay? Here's an update. I've just watched all of Coppelian? Is that how you pronounce that? Oh, Cautious Hero, overpowered but overly cautious. And Monster Musume. Was it Musume or Musume? I watched so long ago. Now I'm on a romance horror anime called Devil's Line. So far I'm interested. Devil's Line. I don't think I've heard of that one. When you relate these to me, Samuel, I like to just... Now, of course, Monster Musume I've seen. I've seen some of Overly Cautious Hero. Now, Coppelian I haven't heard of. I don't think Devil's Line either. That doesn't sound familiar. Those were good, Misag. He says, best comedy horror for me is Scary Movie series. Those were fun. Those were a good time. The Wayans brothers are a blast. Gimster says, what do Pennywise and a priest have in common? They see a kid's birthday party as an all-you-can-eat buffet. Yeah. Willie says, speaking of my dad, what was he like? My dad was an interesting sort in that, don't get me wrong, I don't want to give you guys the wrong impression. I didn't have a bad childhood or anything. But my dad, I didn't have a lot of respect for the way he went about some things, as far as he didn't have a good work ethic. He never held a job for any length of time in his life. And he was somebody he would purport all the time how devoted he was to family and everything. But to me, if you're going to say that, one of the most important things you can do for your family is to make sure they have all the things that they need. And he wasn't interested enough in showing up to work every day to get it done. So he was not a bad man by any stretch, but he was not someone I held up as a role model as how I wanted to live my life as far as the basics. You know, the thing that's most important to me in the world right now is, as I'm going to be 60 in how many days? 12 days. If I die right now, I've got things set up to where I have my life insurance or my retirement set up to where there's no reduction in my retirement payments. They would still go to my wife at the same rate. She can get my Social Security. I have life insurance. I have all the things necessary to make sure that she's okay. And my father did none of those things. And he was somebody who smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day, went through gallons of coffee a day, and weighed at or over 300 pounds most all his life. He wasn't somebody who expected to have a long life, but never really put the things in place to try and take care of my mom or anything. So those were the issues I had. Dragon says, why did Beyonce say to the left? Because women don't have rights. That's terrible. Hey, misogyny is always a good time. Let's see. Rosa says, second last part of the poem. By moonlight and starlight, those shadows led me astray. Take comfort in darkness, hide me away from the light. We saw this part, right? Hide with me from the light, my child. I'll show you another way. Oh, Gabe. Why can't two Chinese people have a white person? Because two Wongs don't make a right. And I just had to put the really offensive accent on it too because, well, it's Free for All Friday. Johnny says, I'm very curious what made Quack think we don't pay income tax. Yeah, I that just struck me, Johnny. I don't know. Thankfully, Uncle Sam doesn't take any of the $230 we get for combat pay, nor should he. No, I never understood. It always cracks me up too. Well, you guys have heard me go on to people about this before. People come in bitching, well, why do members of the military get their health care free? Because it's a perk of the fucking job. Why do I get my health care free? Because it was a perk of my fucking job. They act like that's some sort of egregious, horrible thing because somebody, well, that's the way people are. Somebody got something I'm not getting, so I really need to kick my feet right now. Philip says, son of a batch, I finally make a stream this week and I'm 42 minutes late. No problem, pal. Hey, Curtis, how's it going? Doing good. I got to vote today, hopefully. Oh, it's today, huh? Hopefully Trudeau gets voted out. Today is the actual election? Philip, I knew it was coming right up, and you told me the date about 27 times. I always forget it. I just want to... Oh, I gotta watch for results. Oh, no. Okay, so you can vote early? So the federal election is the 20th. Okay. I didn't think it was quite yet. Key takeaways from the debate. I want to see what are the latest polls. I'll be right back to the chat. What are we looking at here in polls? Whoa. The latest poll I'm seeing here has this conservative Aaron O'Toole with a slight lead on Trudeau. Wow. Okay, and 13% probability Liberals winning a majority, 45% probability of the Liberals winning the most seats but not a majority, 38% probability of the Conservatives winning the most seats but not a majority. Interesting. I got to be following that over these next 10 days. Oh, I've got you here to keep me up on it too, Philip. Dragon says, watch the chat for this next one, Susan. I will, Dragon. Hold on, let me just scroll back, make sure. Okay, I don't see it so far. If she ever lets you get through with it. Rosa says, last part of the poem. Burn away your sorrow in the cleansing fire of power. Colors swirling around me, shifting landscapes obey my every command. But still, I don't possess the power to fill the emptiness. That's pretty hard-hitting stuff. Pretty intense. Masag says, aren't all political parties in the West are basically doing the same? I mean, some people try and make that case. Not really. Are there similarities to both or all parties? Yeah. But there's significant differences as well. Barry says, O'Toole, an Irishman in charge of Canada? That'll be fun. Oh, Chrome says they're going to mandate vaccine passports in Scotland. It's already been made official. My theory is that they'll slowly implement this in business. I'm vaccinated, but still worrying. Yeah, again, as I told you guys, I'm vaccinated, have been from the moment it was available to me, but I'm not in favor of mandates. Dragon says, why are Japanese people's eyes always squinted? Do you know how bright an atomic bomb is? Oh. Yow. Well, what's that? Sounds like a fat man and a little boy. I gotta stop with the goddamn accents. Phyllis says, September 20th, I'm going to the advanced polls. I'm voting PPC because Aaron O'Toole is a red Tory instead of an actual conservative. Last night's debate was basically a bunch of liberal parties arguing over their superficial differences. That sounds very similar to how things are approached here in the States, or how things turn out here in the States. And thanks for the pussy pink sky, Philip. We got to use the words pussy pink again. And when you have the sense of humor of a 12-year-old, pussy pink makes you very happy. And it is funny how, excuse me, guys. It is funny how right as I finally finally was mastering remembering the word magenta is when we ended up having to change it because the tint changed a little bit and became pussy pink. Hey, and now we got, holy cow, we got a crimson sky. Thanks, Samuel. I appreciate that, guys, very much. Samuel says, about Capellian. 3 girls, Ibarra, Aoi, and Taiko, are genetically born with immunization to radiation, and are saving people who are not immunized. The only way non-immunized people could survive is if they wear a radiation suit. If not, they die. Wow. Well, that falls right in with the joke that Dragon just told, doesn't it? Holy shit, was that ever spot on for hitting a mark? So, our genetic to radioactivity. So it's got, obviously, it's in a radioactive wasteland that this is set. I mean, non-immunized people could survive if they wear a radiation suit. If not, they die. It's almost, with the state of the world right now, and you read things like what Samuel outlined here for the plot of this story, it almost gives you a chill, because I think now, more than any time since the days of the Cold War, you can't help but worry about such things potentially taking place. I mean, during the Cold War, it was a day-to-day, real, incredible threat, and we backed away from that for several decades. But the tensions are getting pretty heightened again. Sir Blank says, can we start questioning the leadership and sanity of our commander-in-chief? Yes, it's always a good thing to question, but if anything these past 2 administrations have told us is it doesn't seem to matter how much we the people question them, it's still going to run off the rails. Trevor says, who likes wasting money more, Disney, DC, or Netflix? Oof. That's a tough one. Based on latest offerings, I'm going to go with Netflix, but just barely. Looks is about to be getting heaps of pussy. Share the meds. What? Icewave says, that's the largest super chat I've seen here. Has there ever been bigger? Oh, yeah, we had... what was the max? 500, guys? Yes, we had a couple different times over the years we've had super chat battles go on. And was it Maximus? Maximus had some big ones at one point. Phillips had some big ones. Philip, you had a big one. I think 500 was max, or 499. It was something like that, because I know we hit the max at one point, because they were having that back and forth battle, and I think it was 499 or 500. I tell you, Big Green, he says, fun fact, the color of the pussy pink sky didn't change. You guys are just tripping. The funny thing is, that day that we renamed it, I will swear to my dying days that was a different shade. I don't know if my monitor was off, if there was something wrong with it, or, well, it couldn't be because I didn't make any changes to it, but it does seem to be back to close to what it was before. I'll have to see if I can dig out, because so many of our old streams I had to take down because of Susanisms, but I'll have to go back and see if any of them still exist where we can find one and have a point of reference. Excuse me. Mike says, my first football match and the first time I had sex were very similar. I ended up bleeding profusely, but at least my dad came. I heard that one. That was just awful. Trevor says, so I was doing research for a paper in college last year. I got thrown out of the library for putting books on women's rights in the fiction section. Just trying to help, damn it. I know. You know, you try and organize things for somebody in the most obvious and accurate method, and somebody's going to have an issue with it. Everybody's got to stick up their ass. Jetfire says, off topic, my first ever Spaz Voice comedy video was Egotas episode 1. My second was Egotas episode 2, and so on. I don't know why they started attacking those specifically with copyright strikes. Well, who knows why the Japanese companies do any of the things they do. Philip says every party except the PPC, People's Party of Canada, is for vaccine passports and a carbon tax. Wow. Also, someone threw gravel at Trudeau. Can't say I feel too bad about that. They did? Oh shit! Really? So you've only got one party that is anti-vaccine passport? Yikes. Dragon says, why is reverse cowgirl banned in Alabama? Because you should never turn your back on family. I've heard that one, Dragon. I like that one. You know, it's funny, and we are just talking about the goosh. That's something I would do too, especially if we could start building the numbers there. I would get that, I can't remember the name of the software, but the other streaming software that you pay for. And then we could do some streams over there where I can talk about whatever the fuck I want, because I'd really like to go in deep. I'd like to go in deep, but I just ain't got it. To really get deeply into everything going on with the coronavirus, but obviously can't do it here. Gibster says, I remember an English VTuber called Calliope Mori accidentally started a super chat war between Canada and America. I say we Canadians won that one. Really? Oh, we had well, you guys have been here for it. We had a couple of big battles over the years. I think I'm very remiss in not keeping track of this. Because to be honest with you, I mean, I couldn't tell you guys how much I appreciate all the support we get. But it's not like I didn't get into this, and I'm just trying to explain why I don't follow the numbers as closely as maybe I should. I didn't get into this for the money. I got into this because I love doing it. Now the fact that it provides my living is just a phenomenal extra bonus. So it's not something like I worry about how much money everything makes every day. I don't really pay that much attention to it. So I'm trying to remember I bet you I can find out what the biggest day of Super Chats was. Hold on. Let me catch up on these, on the Super Chats we have here now. And I'll get out, I'm not sure, but I think I can. I think I can. I'll get out my dashboard and let me see if I can do lifetime on the channel to see what the biggest day of Super Chats was. Let me just catch up here. Willie says, is it just me or a lot of places worldwide using the vaccines as a modern day yellow star? I just think they're going over the top with it, Willie. Yeah, I agree. And again, I'm vaccinated and I'm very pro-vaccine, but I'm not pro-mandates. Hey, Ambu. What's up, you mother trucker? How are you? I'm doing good. It has to be that day we had the bidding war of the 500. I think so too, Chrome. Okay, hold on a second, guys. I'll be away for just a second. Let me pull up another tab. I've gotten YouTube all the changes they made here. I'm finally started to get a little bit comfortable with them again. Okay, here's my dashboard. Or no, I need analytics. All right. So let's go revenue. Can we break it down by sources? Okay, okay, so this is Super Chat and Super Stickers. Okay, now I've got that. Now, let's change it to lifetime. There's got to be a big... Okay, here's a huge spike. Oh, man, I can't get this to... Come on. Oh, no, wait, that would... This can't be... I don't think this kept accurate track. It's got the biggest day, guys. I didn't think about it during the when we had the live stream for the van. Back was July 6th. So it would have been $782. Oh wait, maybe that's not total take. Maybe that's what. But like Chrome says, we had this thing isn't accurate. I know it isn't, because we had that battle where the $500 one was just the tip of the iceberg, because they had been battling prior to that with 50s, 100s, 200s. Yeah, so not surprisingly, they don't have accurate information here. This isn't right. I know it isn't. Yeah, I'm positive it's wrong. Shit, that's too bad. And it won't let me zoom in the view on this at all. Jesus Christ. Just trying to see if there's any other way. No, it just tells us how many. Yeah, I know you were here, Chrome, and probably several of you other guys were here as well. There's no way, because that day had to be more than that, right? Because the 500 was the tip. They had been battling back and forth before that, so it's got to have something wrong in my stats. Barry says, "What's funny and red inside Charlie Hebdo's office?" Oh, can't say too soon. That happened a long time ago. Philip says, "O'Toole's supposed to be the opposition, but he's just Trudeau in a blue suit." Oh, great. PPC has been derided as anti-vax. Not true, just anti-passport. That same thing happens in America. If you're anti-vaccine passports, then you're anti-vax, which obviously isn't true at all. And racist. All you have to do to be racist these days is be right of communism. That's for goddamn sure, Philip. That's for sure. That is the go-to word for everybody. Certainly for everybody that's losing an ideological argument. Are you racist? That's what they go with. Dragon says, "Ever heard of a reverse exorcism? It's when the devil tells the priest to exit the child's body." That's pretty good, Dragon. That's pretty fucked up. I like that. That one I had definitely not heard before. Mr. Popo's here. No, Popo, no. "I saw a man fighting a pregnant woman on the street. Naturally, I thought it was unfair, so I jumped in to make it a 2v2. You guys are messed up today. I like that. Okay, Lick says, "I remember that fight. They were donating a bunch of 500s over and over again." There was more than one? I didn't remember that, Licks. Yeah, so the numbers can't be right. I just put it as to track it for lifetime, and it said the biggest day we had was that July 6th. And I know that's not the case. How can YouTube get stuff wrong that is of their own development? I mean, they're the only ones that actually have the real numbers on that stuff, but I know that wasn't the biggest day we've had. I wish I could remember how long ago that was. It probably would have been around, what do you guys think, 2018 maybe? Andrew says, "Not a Cowboys fan, but tough loss last night." Yeah, you know what, Andrew, though? It's one of those things, unlike college, where, one loss can knock you out of contention for the playoff. As a Cowboy fan, I wasn't really disappointed with that much. Just seeing the offense play the way they did, we know that Dallas defense is always going to be average at best. But seeing the offense play the way they did and seeing Dak play so well, that gave me a lot of hope for this season. I think they've got a great chance of winning the division. And I do think, because the defense is young, a lot of main components in it are young, that will get better as the season goes. So it certainly is. You never want to lose. But that was as encouraged as I could get in a loss. Gimster says, "One of the newest VTubers in Hololive called Crony Challenge Chat to see who is faster, her reading or 10,000 viewers watching her. She was thoroughly outmatched by those of us who could send super chats. I'm one of them." Gimster, that goodbye stream, and the VTuber's name, I've forgotten her name, but I've never seen anything like that. And like I say, I've watched plenty of PewDiePie streams and stuff of that nature, but the super chats were just, they were exploding, flying across the screen, and big ones too. Big ones. Philip says, "PPC was excluded from the federal debates because they didn't have seats in Parliament or 5% in the polls. But exceptions were made for the Green Party in 2008. Now we're polling at 11%. Wow, that's a significant bump. Hey, that sounds good, because no third party has polled at 11% here ever in my memory. So that, for us to have anything outside of the main two. So, hey, maybe you guys got some momentum building. Jetfire says, there's like zero character development between the two that I can remember, and yet for some reason I like to ship Seto Kaiba and Ishizu Ishtar. See, I don't know enough about that series. I know I I know I always liked Kaiba. I and the problem too is the only Yu-Gi-Oh content I've seen, Jetfire, is Igotas. I've never seen any of the original at all. And now knowing the characters, though, it would have never interested me prior, but knowing the characters through the abridged, I would watch it, though. Kaiba and who? Excuse me, Masag says. Kaiser says, so how will the terrorists commemorate tomorrow? Maybe they'll send an invisible plane into an invisible building so they can enforce even more airport security. Yeah, really, Kaiser. I know. You just keep your fingers crossed there's not going to be any stupidity going on tomorrow. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Johnny says Tampa Bay has a pretty good shot at repeating this year. They do, Johnny. They're solid. Well, you got Brady still playing like a maniac. They're loaded on offense. I will say this, it was fun to see. They're probably... I think Dallas has the best overall receiving core in football, but Tampa Bay would be probably right behind them. So you knew there was going to be an air show put on there. But yeah, their Tampa Bay is way better on defense than is Dallas, and that's the Achilles heel right now. But again, I was very pleased. You're never happy to lose, but I was very pleased with the way the Cowboys played. The offense is as good or maybe even better than I thought it was going to be, and the defense seems a little better than it was last year. But if it were any worse, they would have to kick them out of the league. Dragon says, what do a clogged pipe and a pregnant woman have in common? You fix both with a coat hanger. Jesus Christ. Oh, man, Dragon. You guys are awful today. I love that it's Free For All Friday. Oh, yes. Gibster says, Kiryu Coco is the one you're thinking about. Yes. In another VTuber's charity stream, Amelia Watson and a few of the people there sent 10 grand for the charity. Wow, very cool. That's excellent. Yeah, Coco, but you're right. That's the one I was thinking of, Gibster, was Coco's. That stream was insane. I'd never seen anything like that. I looked up to, somebody had posted how much that stream took in super chats. I forgot how much it was now. It was an insane amount. Excuse me. Chrome says, I did a little check on the anime suggestion, by the way. Oh, yeah, for those of you who don't know, we're taking, we have our nominations poll up. We're needing a new series soon at the Goose to start watching. And Chrome's talking about the nominations. Kaguya-sama Love is War, Mushoku Tensei, Tanya the Evil, Fairy Tail are currently in the lead. All great series. Now, see, those first two I'm not familiar with at all. Tanya the Evil, of course, we saw clips of those years ago back when we could do the regular video clip streams or the reaction video streams. And you guys just show me clips of Tanya the Evil. And that show just looks like a lot of fun. That's why Chrome and I, when she was making our background for us, we added Tanya. Because I love that character. Anbu says, my Cardinals will have a fight this year versus Dallas. Yeah, I'm interested to see exactly how good the Cardinals are going to be this year. I'm not sure how their defense stacks up. They're a question mark team for me, so I'm really anxious to see them. Lick says, we got to transgender you so you can put the anime girl voice on and get you a VTuber model. You'll make millions. I don't know. Don't you think that maybe everybody's tired of attractive, cute, and aesthetically pleasing voices? Let's get this pile of shit behind a VTuber, behind a VTuber's presence. Barry says Eagles are looking like they could have another underdog season that overachieves. They're a tough one to figure out, mainly because of the quarterback position. You just have no idea how he's going to play. They have the Eagles, certainly, yeah, like you say, it would be an overachievement because as they say, listen, it doesn't matter what a team looks like on paper because games aren't played on paper. But that said, on paper, the Eagles seem to be at a little bit of a deficiency this year. So you're right, but they could absolutely break out with an overachiever season. Chrome says, I think you've only seen the 2 clips I sponsored of Kaguya during the vid streams. Also, Tanya's got a 2nd season announced recently. Oh, really? That's cool. Mushoku Tensei is a classic isekai that was just animated. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Hey, I'm game for... Again, I've gotten to where, when we first started doing all this, and we'd be ready to watch something, or in the early days of doing a lot of anime at the Goosh, something to get nominated in, and I'd be like, I don't know if that genre will be for me, or this, that, or the other. I've long since stopped questioning, because to this day, I haven't watched an anime that I haven't enjoyed, and that's because they all come from you guys, and you guys have similar tastes as do I, and you guys also know what I like. Chrome's sponsorship over at the Goosh right now is Cardcaptor Sakura. Now that show clearly was not designed for my demographic, but yeah, I'm enjoying the hell out of that. I just think it's such a nice, cool little reprieve into something sweet and cute to watch. Philip says, wasn't there an Ugly Bastard VTuber? Really? I would have watched that. Or was that just a comic I read? If not, Curtis, you've got a niche market you can fill. Yeah. I would be Ugly Bastard. Oh, without a question. I think that would be funny. A VTuber that's just entirely gross. Can a VTube character like pick its nose and pick its ass? And no, I'd be all for that. Yeah, I might have to go out and make a VTuber design. Johnny says, I'm going to miss watching Larry Fitzgerald play. Not only a great receiver, but a class guy. That man is a professional in every sense of the word. Couldn't agree more. I don't know how it's possible to be a football fan and not like Larry Fitzgerald. Just such a class dude. As you said, in every sense of the word. Just a great guy. And one hell of a receiver, too. He's got to be a Hall of Famer. As Urzul says, big bald man calls, I shall answer. Praise Nami. Oh. I was just saying that in one of the videos. I think it was the video I watched today. I was talking about how Zeus is now in Nami's hands. And then as I said it, I got thinking about how wonderfully delightful it would be to be in Nami's hands. Mr. Popo says, loved your Dragon Ball Super reactions. Oh, thanks. I love Super. I know a lot of people weren't as high on it, but I have yet to see anything Dragon Ball I didn't enjoy. But I really enjoyed Super. I thought that tournament was phenomenal. I had a great time watching that. Dragon says, I am optimistic for my Saints this year. I think Winston's going to be good. I think Jameis Winston fits the team very well. I agree. Plus, he's a better quarterback than most give him credit for. Yeah, a lot of people tend to forget. I mean, just like his years at Florida State and stuff, this is a guy with natural abilities, a lot of them. He showed it at Florida State. He showed it in spurts in the NFL. But yes, his skill set is right up there. Excuse me. Philip says, there's definitely a market for it. Apparently, most of the people who read Ugly Bastard hentai are women. Clearly, they have some issues and money. Well, that's why I thought, although the only thing is I was using that face rig to do the Satan character. And if we ever decided we wanted to try to do something like that, I would want something that moves better. That nothing wrong with face rig. It's a cool little program. But I would want something that is more expressive like the VTuber girls have and stuff. Oh, I think that would be funny. Actually, what would be funniest of all for me was to make a VTuber character of Golden and turn Golden loose on the world. I don't know how that would do at the channel, but as far as the channel's health and Susan coming after us. But Zurzul says, also props to my man Krillin. Still a skilled martial artist with some touch-up, smoking hot wife, and minus a few redos at life, always winning. Yeah, you're right, too. Who would ever thought that Krillin would end up with a wife that hot? God damn. Gotta give the boy credit for that. Krillin, well, you guys know, he is still my favorite DBZA character. Big Green says Super is not as good as Z, but it's also not as bad as GT, so that evens it out. I would agree with that first part. I really enjoyed Super. I don't think it's as good as Z either. GT I watched, again, as you guys know, only in clips. And it's not just like moment to moment. I used to watch lots of clips to get all the highlights. And I get what you guys are saying, that GT fell off some. Although I do remember, I don't remember the specifics, but I do remember watching the ending of GT and thinking that was really good. I can't even tell you the specifics. I just remember thinking how impressed I was with the ending. Philip says, Android 18 is definitely the hottest out of the DBZ women. You think so, Philip? She's up there for me. I don't know if she would be hottest or not. She's got that badass forehead thing going on, that's for sure. Yeah, I think she's hotter than Bulma. I think she's hotter than Chi-Chi. Yeah, I have to think through to some of the others. Zurzel, I still have not seen the Super Broly movie. Yeah, that's something I absolutely have to do. Connor says Jiren is by far the deadliest fighter ever. Oh, Jiren's a great character. I ended up liking Jiren's. If it weren't for the fact that I am so enamored with Ultra Instinct, Jiren would have been my favorite fighter in that. But I love Ultra Instinct. That's so cool. But Jiren is an absolute badass. Oh, Chrome says, are we all forgetting the sexiness that is Ribrianne? That was another thing I actually liked, Chrome, about Super, was it had a character in there that was easy to hate too. Because she was annoying as fuck. Chrome says, Sakura is always great. There's a reason it's one of the classic series that got a new sequel series some years ago now. And the good thing is it's nothing like Boruto. That's not a hint, by the way. Yeah, it really is. I'm just enjoying it. Like I told you said to everybody in the video, when it's time to watch Cardcaptor Sakura each month, you just kind of feel good getting ready to watch it. It's just fun. Zurzul says, "Wahaha, King Me Bald Man." Oh, and you got it too, Zurzul. I was afraid somebody else might have jumped in right in front of you, but you did. You got it. Stream Boss. Hanbu says, I would respectfully hit that if it wasn't for Krillin. Yeah, no doubt about the hitability. No question. I like her character too. I like 18's character. Gabe says, a new ERB launched a couple months ago. Yes, I've been waiting for your reaction to it. It won't be coming. ERB, like I said, I follow them on social media. I've subscribed to their channel, and I'm one of their patrons. So I know everything they release. I don't make reaction videos, though, to anything where I don't have at least what I feel is a comfortable enough knowledge of the characters to make for an interesting reaction. That's just my own personal standards. I'm not going to make a reaction video just because I know certain reaction videos get a lot of views. I don't remember who it was against, but it was two historical characters, and I know who they are, but I don't really know enough about them that I can imagine I'm going to get all the references and stuff, and I don't think that makes for an interesting reaction. Ooh, Launch. Yes. Trevor says it's Yellow Hair Launch or Android 18 for me. I loved Launch. Well, you guys know that. I not only loved her character, I just loved the whole sneezing, making her batshit thing and everything. Chrome says, with enough time, money, I could probably find some way to make a VTuber character for you. What type of character would you even want? One that looks like you, a younger you, or something else? That's a good question, Chrome. I haven't put a ton of thought into it. I don't know. It's something we could certainly look into, Chrome. We could either in the streams or in the community tab, I could see what people's take is on that, if they'd be interested in a VTuber character. If so, don't you guys think that, those who have been with us for a while and know the character and everything, don't you think Golden would be a solid character? and we could just make Golden an exaggerated version of me, would just make him all jacked up and muscled out and really gross, and wearing as little clothes as possible, because that was Golden. He didn't like clothes. I don't know. I wouldn't want you to get to work on a Chrome OS, but I would definitely be willing, if the gang here seemed like they were actually really interested in those types of videos. I would be more than, because I know I couldn't make a VTuber character. I'd be more than willing to pay to have one made. I would have a blast with it. I love stuff like that. Trevor says, yeah. Phyllis says, probably. I was always partial to Vidal. Vidal was cute. She is. Oh, Gabe says, would you like to try African food? They would too. Come on. Oh, that's nice of you to say, PZ. He says, stop being modest. We would be entertained watching you watching paint dry. Well, say, and I don't mind that. I like doing the Satan character code. The only difference was I do like the VTuber characters. They have so much more range of motion and expression than I get from that software I use for Satan. Now, and again, it's not demeaning that software. FaceRig's cool. But they get so much more out of their characters. Johnny says, fuck yeah, that sounds fun. That would be a good time, especially having Golden play like GTA 5 and stuff like that. Oh, that would be a blast. And I love doing the Golden character. Let's see. He kind of says you do make a good Satan. Well, certain things come natural. You know what we could do as a test run to Chrome, with Connor saying that and the guys talking about that? I can do a couple more videos. A couple more. Yeah, I'm sure the computer could run all that at once. Like do a Satan gameplay of GTA 5 or something like that and see what people think of it. That might give us a good baseline to see if there is actually an interest in content with me playing a character like that. We could try something like that and just see what people think of that. Dragon again. They found water on Mars. Mars 1, Africa 0. Jesus Christ. That's what I thought too. Connor says, oh, Golden is perfect in GTA 5. Golden could go through playing GTA 5, doing all kinds of outrageous shit, going, yeah, did that. Oh, I remember when I did that in real life, yeah. Hey, good to see you, Z-Man. Yes, has been a while. Good to see you again. I've only read the first sentence so far, Philip, and 100% agree. Don't get me wrong, Bulma is hot, but she keeps ruining it by getting the worst haircuts, doesn't she? Jesus Christ, because Bulma is hot. And as I've always said, I like her because she's kind of you can tell she's a freak. But yes, those haircuts suck. Same with Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi was hot when she was young, then she got that haircut. Yeah, and Chi-Chi never struck me as hot as Bulma. Excuse me, but you're 100% right. The haircuts are like, wow. Connor says, hey, Curtis, I have a serious question. Why do people not care about birthdays anymore? It's something I noticed in life. I don't know, Connor. I haven't really noticed that myself. So I can't really... I guess it all just depends on, how the people around you, your family, your friends go about celebrating such things. But they still... I'm trying to just sneak by mine because I'm hoping there's not going to be too much of a big deal made of it here in the house. But other than that, I think our family still, is pretty big on birthdays, especially for the kids, obviously. Anbu says, what if, now stay with me, Golden becomes a split personality who goes on a real-life GTA, drags, cookers, and more, becomes a pro wrestler. There would be a lot of interesting possibilities for Golden, yes. Pizza Man says, just got notified. Thanks, Susan. Oh, not bad. Hour and 24 minutes in, Pizza Man. She's right on again. And that was you were supposed to get 2 notifications. You were supposed to get one when I scheduled the stream this morning at around 11 or so, and then another when the stream started. So she missed you twice. Gimster says, a split personality VTuber that is part of Holo Live named Akai Hachama is called the strongest idol due to her eating a tarantula on stream, as well as eating cursed food. Ha chama is waifu. Or ha chama is waifu. I'll have to look that one up, Gimster. Again, it was you guys showing me during the video clip streams. I'm just impressed with the VTubers. There really are some talented girls doing that stuff. They were funny. Lick says, oh, silly. Don't you know that birthdays stop happening after you turn 20? Right now, I would have been happy with them just stopping when I turned like 45. Chrome says, true, that could work. I've seen a little behind the scenes from that Moth Girl VTuber. It's layered 2D animation cells that have simple animations. Would take time, but probably manageable. Yeah, that's. I'll try and do that, Chrome. I'll try and make some time coming up soon. And rather than do a stream, just so we can get a better idea of just what people's reactions are to it, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll have Satan play like GTA 5. Just because GTA 5 is a popular game on the channel. I love it. And see how they react to that. And if there's some interest in that, I would think that a custom-built then VTuber character, you would think, would draw even more attention. And what would be fun, too, is with Golden and that character, not only could we do video, gaming videos, oh, Z-Man Stream Boss, gaming videos and stuff of that nature, but just these just chatting streams would be a blast with him, too. Z-Man says, watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force for the first time in a long time last night. Favorite character? I have not seen that. Aqua Teen Hunger Force? Z-Man? No. I have heard of it, and I don't know why. Let me look up the characters. Because I have heard that. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Okay, I do remember some of these characters. I remember the French fry thing and everything. But no, I haven't seen it. I have not seen that one. And then I hear from Jojo Kage. Occasionally Wolverine. Watch from over in the Goose. He's in the... Because I would be looking for him if not, because he's a regular here too. But he comments in videos at the Goose fairly regularly, pal. So I know he's okay and everything, because I hear from him there a lot. Dragon says, the biggest difference between Vince's battle with WCW and his battle with AEW is that he can't afford to lose any more talent to AEW because he doesn't have as much trained young talent to rely on. I agree. AEW is making a real... If AEW could get more consistent with their writing, because that's WWE's weakness and to some degree theirs, they could make a serious run at them. Yeah. I think it's going to be whoever... Because they both got great talent rosters. They really do. There's a lot of great workers in both. Now let's see who can write better storylines. Because that's how WCW was able to challenge Vince for a while, was just because they came up with that NWO storyline. That's what took off. AEW, Sir Blank says. Lute says, ever since CM Punk got on AEW, it's kind of a losing battle for Vince. It'll be interesting to see, Lute. I think that was obviously a big pop for them. Let's hope they use them right. They got that initial pop. Let's hope they continue it and use them properly. But yeah, I think it'll be strength of writing determines this one, because again, both of them have been a little weak in the writing. So whoever turns that corner with the writing, I think will come out on top. All right, guys, I gotta go. This was a phenomenal free-for-all, right? Well, they all are. But we'll try that. Watch for that in the future. As soon as I can get time, I'll do that. It'll take a little while to set up, but I'll try. Again, I believe my computer is pretty fast. It should be able to run all the programs at the same time. I'll try doing a GTA 5 video with Satan commentating. We'll see. We'll put that out on the channel. See how that works, if that gets any real interest. If it does, then Chrome and I might sit down and start talking about what we might be able to come up with for a specific character. But for now, it's Free for All Friday. I'm feeling good. It has been a great day. It's been a fun day. It's been a funny day in here. This always gets me peaked. And it doesn't matter that we've been streaming every day since I got back. At almost 60, I've been like Sticky Stuff Reborn. The sticky stuff just keeps percolating. And I always use the word percolating just because I like saying percolating. So this is it. It's primo Free for All Friday sticky stuff. As Gimster says, goosh, 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 goodbye. Get the official sticky stuff fanny packs out. Anytime it's Free for All Friday sticky stuff, you never know which ones are going to become the true collector's items. Always good to have plenty on hand. It sticks, you know, you do this and it's okay, you get the idea. Because here we go. Pampu pampu, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you. The Free for All Friday high quality sticky stuff. He goes, well, bang, okay, flashly like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, every day, every moment, whether it's virtual or the real world, it's always the best. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.